Right, we are on page 10 of our credit, and all I'm doing in this one is I'm going to read the story or the article for you, and then you're going to take notes. You're going to follow along and you're going to take notes. Just to kind of remind you, when you're doing this, when you're reading along with me, what you want to do as well is you want to take a look at, so this is on page, if I come down, this is a copy of page 12, because I'm not going to help you with this one. This is the one that you're going to show me that you know what you're doing. Okay? And give me a second to figure this out. Gotta move all my little designs away. So I'm going to do the reading. You're going to follow along and take notes as you go. Okay? So en esta parte yo no voy a tomar notas con ustedes. Que van a hacer es que yo estoy leyendo en inglés. Van a seguir conmigo y aquí en el screen tengo las preguntas del examen que sale. Yo no te voy a dar con el examen cuando termina de leer. No va a haber video por el examen. So primero que pueden hacer pausar el video y leer las preguntas. Y cuando estás listo para que me escuches leer, ya puedes resumir el video. Alright, so let's get started. Popular Halloween celebrations. When one brings up the topic of Halloween, very specific traditions typically come to mind, such as trick-or-treating, dressing up in costumes, carving pumpkins, and various others. In fact, Halloween has become one of the most popular and well-loved holidays, not only for its activities, but also simply for its time of year. Typically, the arrival of the Halloween season signals the coming of fall, which is allegedly the second most popular season of the year, following closely behind the spring season. The most popular Halloween tradition in the United States is trick-or-treating, at least for the children. Each year, families take time to either go shopping for costumes or to have them made. One night of the holiday, families go throughout their neighborhoods and knock on doors in order to receive free candy to take home. The children are then hyped up on candy for days and even weeks to come. Many times, children get so much candy through trick-or-treating they're not even able to consume the candy before it expires. It is believed that this tradition comes from ancient times when supernatural beings supposedly roamed the earth and were presented with gifts in order to keep them content. Therefore, these beings would incense trick-or-treat those who may or may not have had offering or who did not offer gifts. The next most popular Halloween tradition is that of pumpkin carving. This is where the carvers empty out the pumpkins by scooping and scraping out what they often call pumpkin guts. They then carve out designs in order to put them on display, perhaps on a porch or on some stairs outside. At nightfall, they place tea candles inside of the pumpkins, and this causes the light to shine through truly place emphasis on the designs that have been carved out. They truly can be pieces of beautiful fall decor. This tradition originated in ancient times among the Celtic culture. They carved out pumpkins and placed lights in them in order to use them as lanterns or to provide light. Another popular Halloween tradition is that of apple bobbing. In this type of festive activity, one must put apples in some sort of bucket or tub and fill it with water. The apples are then floated around freely. Those who participate must put only their heads in the water and see how many apples they can get out with their mouths alone. Typically, there is a time limit, and those playing the game are allowed to continue bobbing back into the water until the time is completely up. Though this may sound like somewhat easy task, it is very difficult. This tradition, oddly enough, did not come from anything even related to Halloween. In fact, it originated hundreds of thousands years ago among Britons. It began as a dating ritual. Each apple was assigned to a man. The woman was to bob for apples, and if she were to bite into an apple on the first try, she and the male were believed to be meant for one another romantically. Finally, another one of the most popular Halloween traditions involved dressing up in a costume based on one's favorite character, animal, or something else along those lines. Children often dress up as their favorite movie character and go trick-or-treating. Adults often have costume parties throughout the Halloween season in which they dress up as their favorite character or someone they may look up to. This is a fun tradition for all who participate. The tradition originated, however, in ancient times and its intention was not merely for a fun time. It was created because in these times, Celtics dressed up covering themselves in animal hides. It was not for a costume party, but it was in fact for the sole purpose of warding off ghosts and spirits that were believed to mess with their belongings. There are many Halloween traditions that are fulfilled throughout the month of October. While none of them originated in the way that they are carried out now, they have evolved vastly over generations. Many of them began due to Hallows' Eve several generations ago, but interestingly, some of them did not even branch off from that time period or during the time of October. They each had a specific purpose in the time that they were created, but today they are simply known as seasonal and fun activities. In addition, these traditions are not merely celebrated in the United States, but in countries all over the world. Granted, they may be completed and celebrated in different ways. Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to come here and answer these questions based on the reading. So when you're reading it, come back here to get your answers. Okay? And if you have any questions or need some support with this, please come see me.